Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pure Vehicles YouTube channel. I want to start off by extending a massive thank you to everyone who's been leaving likes, comments and even subscriptions. We are very small creators at the moment, so all these things, they do mean a great deal to us, and we have the privilege of being able to engage with you all in the comments and have real conversations, because we have had some pretty funny comments lately, haven't we?
Yeah, it's some. I mean, some of them hurt my feelings about my age and that, but we'll move on from that.
I found them very funny, that's the main thing. But yeah, it's just a very quick thank you, and if you are enjoying the content, doing these things like liking, commenting and subscribing, it really makes our day.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to do something a little bit different today. So we've done used school performance with the Mercedes AMG GT. We've also done luxury with the Rolls-Royce Ghost. Stay tuned for that. We're going to do another video on the Ghost with the driving segment location shots. So really looking forward to that. But today we're going to talk about old school classics, the Triumph GT6 Mark II. The little small sporty hatch that, in my opinion, was significantly underrated. So this was more affordable than the more opulent Triumph TR6 and the Stag. But in saying that, essentially what this is a Spitfire in a coupe version.
Yeah, and it's a lovely, lovely little car. The productions of the GT6s started in 1967, right, and that's when we got the first Mark I. Now the Mark II quickly came out a couple of years later in '69 due to a couple of issues that the Mark I was facing. Production itself ran all the way through to 1971 on the Mark II, and then the Mark III came out for another 2 years, ending the GT6 in '73. The reason why we so quickly moved from the Mark I to the Mark II, as I'm sure you'll know, is because there's quite a big pokey little engine in these cars. These are not big cars at all. We're not tall people. I'm 5'7", my dad's 5'5". So the fact that we can lean over the top of the car like this shows you how small it is. Yeah. Because of that big engine, on the straight line, absolutely fine. You were laughing, you could go. But as soon as it came to a corner, that's where you struggled. So a lot of the Mark I's ended up in hedges, around trees or in ditches. And for such a beautiful car, that is a wild shame.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the bonnet up and we're taking a look at this fantastic engine. So as you can see from this engine here, or maybe you can't if you're not familiar with the GT6, this has been completely rebuilt, literally from the ground up. So as you can see here with this straight inline six, this is an amazing engine. It's 2 litre, delivers 109 brake horsepower, which actually doesn't seem a lot.
No, but I mean, if you're going back to the 60s, 109 horsepower, that is a lot. That is a lot back in the day. I mean, today it's not exciting, but this was an absolute weapon back in its time.
Think about the Hillmans and the Austins that were at that time as well. They were about 40 brake horsepower.
I know.
So this thing was an absolute weapon when it was actually out on the road. Mileage-wise, not too bad, 25 miles per gallon. I think that's not too bad for a 2 litre inline six.
Yes, better than the Toyota MR2 that I had, which was drinking fuel. I'm not sure if there's a hole in the tank or what, but
no, that was a cool little car, that.
Yeah.
And then we've got a 0 to 60 in a quite respectable 10.1 seconds.
Yeah. Barely breaking double digits.
Barely breaking, yeah, exactly. I suppose if you drive it a bit more spirited, it will go a bit quicker. Parts on these, relatively inexpensive, and there seems to be a lot of specialists out there that can actually help with the rebuilds of them. Well, not that you'd need to do that with Teddy here because he's already been completely rebuilt. But for those that are looking to be out in the market for a GT6 and want to do their own upgrades, there's certainly plenty of stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's plenty of mechanics who are more than happy to work on these cars. I'm sure it'd be quite a treat for them. First off, just sitting in this car makes me feel like I'm a lot cooler than I actually am. This is such a wild place to be sat. Teddy has the all original patina design on the interior, which is really desirable to have in a classic car like the Triumph GT6 Mark II.
I wonder how this would be if you had 2 6-foot guys in here.
Oh, it won't be good. That is probably another thing we should mention. It's not the TARDIS, so the fact that it's very small on the outside, you can feel how small it is in the interior as well. Not only this, it's a manual transmission, but I sat in the car and went to put my foot on the clutch and all of the pedals seem to have been shifted
to the right.
So where you'd normally find your brake is where the clutch is, where you'd normally find your accelerator is where the brake is, and then the actual throttle is so far up to the right that your toes actually scrape along the side panel of the car, which I'm not sure what the design intentions were behind that, But it's an interesting choice, that's for sure. But the chrome design on the interior, especially with the polished wood on the steering wheel, it just ties it all together, and it is absolutely stunning. The leather on the seats is in fantastic condition. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it, there's nothing that I can point out that I think, yeah, this car's been driven and it has been worn down.
No.
It is a real nice example of a Triumph GT6 Mark II.
There you have it, the Triumph GT6 Mark II. I've really enjoyed talking about this car.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, there's no shortage of things to talk about with this car. It's so unique and amazingly put together that we could ramble about it for hours, couldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
I think it's definitely designed for hobbits though. I think if you live in the land of the Shire and you're under 5'7", 5'8", it's an absolute perfect car. I feel like a giant in it.
Yeah, it's probably why we like it so much. We feel like average sized humans when we're sat in this car. But anyway, that's going to be all from us today. Like we said, we can't do a driving segment on this car, which is a shame, but it's completely understandable. I want to say another massive thank you to everyone who has been engaging with the channel. The likes, the comments, the subscriptions, keep them coming because they make our day, and we love talking with you guys in the comments. We're very thankful that there's no shortage of people who love cars. We absolutely love the machines that we have in our showroom, and talking about them with you. There's no better way to spend a day, really, is there? Talking about fantastic examples of classic and performance cars like this. No. I mean, what would you rather be doing?
Until the next video, please do drive safely.